Y'all still awake?
What up, y'all? It's Jessica Wise from Audacity, and what's good, Nic Daniels?
What's up?
We are a little bit tipsy because we are here for our part 2 of Audacity's drunk book review for the whole year.
June through June.
See you soon. And thank you guys so much for bringing instructions for dancing. And on to
Tales from the Cafe.
another cathartic read and a lesson in living in the present and for the now. Woo!
Oh my god.
Only this time we're going from the male perspective.
Yeah, in the book before this, because this is a sequel to Before the Coffee Gets Cold.
Shout out to HarperCollins for sending us this pre-press copy.
Yes. But yeah, the first story was from the female perspective, and this second book is from the male perspective, which I think is interesting because you don't really get to see grief, or like you don't really associate grief in a lot of stories with the male perspective.
We don't associate emotions with men, unfortunately. And everybody's like, oh, well, women are emotional. I'm like, honestly, when you look statistically at society and some of the biggest tragedies of humanity, they're primarily committed by men. And no one just gets that. No one just wakes up one day and gets to that point. There's a missing piece where men are not being taught to handle their emotions.
Yeah. And I don't care what y'all say. Men been emotional since day one. Have y'all seen Rocky? Have y'all seen any superhero movie ever? Y'all are emotional.
Peter Parker cried more than most women when Uncle Ben died.
Oh my
and
God.
I ain't mad at him. I be boo-hooing too. I love my uncles. Like, I be boo-hooing too. My uncles are like other dads to me. Like, I'm not saying that to make fun of them at all. But men are emotional human beings. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's like, oh, like there's emotion and there's logic. I'm like, both things can be true. They're not interchangeable. Emotion and logic can be not just one and the same, but they work hand in hand.
Your emotions inform your logic because it tells you what's
wrong. Yeah, exactly. Like there's a logical reason as to why your emotions are the way that they are.
Yeah. And without emotions, your logic there wouldn't be a need for logic.
There wouldn't be a need for logic without emotions. You need to be able to explain emotions, and therefore that is why we have logic. But logic would serve no purpose if there were no emotions involved. So, I mean, I love this because it really breaks down all those walls of toxic masculinity, but also holds toxic masculinity accountable for how these men have dealt with the people in their lives and the things that they regret doing. And that's the thing when it comes to not dealing with your emotions, these men show how you will regret it.
Yeah. And it's not even like on purpose. Like, when you have a book that's like for the purpose of showing this one topic, like this is just real men who made real mistakes and want to fix them by going back in time and time traveling. If you didn't know the premise of the original book, you got a coffee shop, you can time travel for like 5 minutes to 5 to 20 minutes before the coffee gets cold.
But you can't change anything.
Yeah. Otherwise, you get stuck in the past. But
like a ghost. And you also cannot change the past.
Yeah. So you really have to deal with your decisions and find a way to come to closure for yourself.
Yeah. The true point of this is to find closure and to reconcile. It's not to change anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. But I
want to change stuff. I'd be mad.
But I think that's a good thing to not allow yourself to feel like you can change things, because I feel like that can create an obsession with let me find a way to change something, and it's like sometimes you just have to
accept with your decisions. You have to accept it, and like we're humans, like we have to accept that sometimes we make mistakes or we make bad choices, and it doesn't mean that we're bad people, but it does mean that we have to accept the consequences, whatever they may be, of those mistakes or bad choices.
And the consequences aren't always what you think they are.
Right.
I love that in this book. It's like the little things made a difference. Like the last story in this book with the police officer talking to his wife for the last time, and all he did was give her a birthday present that he didn't give a chance to give her. Mm-hmm. And it didn't change the fact that he lost her in the end, but it did change how she saw their relationship.
Yeah.
And he got closure on that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, next book. We can't do this. Next book.
You know, we gotta keep doing this.
Oh no!
This one isn't bad.
Oh yes. But also, oh yes.
This was a good
Whereabouts by Jhumpa Lahiri. Whew.
I'd say this one was
I enjoyed this one. I enjoyed this one. Like, it's about her time living in Italy and just like
being human.
Yeah.
Let alone, like, you get a lot of stories from people that have like a strong sense of, you know, either community or friendship or something. Like, we often see them interacting with somebody. Yeah. This one gave you time to just be alone.
Yeah, and like the notion of knowing someone's whereabouts, like you think you're going on like some kind of eat, pray, love journey where oh, she's gonna go all around the world, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do this, like, you know, we're gonna see her whereabouts. But her whereabouts are very much so about not where you're going, but where you are.
Yeah. Ooh, preach.
Come on now. I get profound when I drink wine. Here.
I drink wine.
Here you go.
Yes.
Is that enough?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't think I need more.
I'm trying to drip a little bit. But yeah, I love this. I love this. There's a lot we can say about this, but like the main thing is just like seeing her in her everyday life, and like it shows how you can make a story, you can make a book out of your everyday life too. Like, what are you doing? Oh, this would be a fun exercise. What are you doing to make your life a novel? What are you doing to write the story or the book that is your life? How are you making your life wonderful and magical and interesting and book-worthy every day? And not book-worthy in the eyes of other people, but in the eyes of what it is to you.
Yeah, because to a lot of people, I would say that they may find this book boring in that they're like, there's nothing really happening because there's not like this big adventure you're going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, but actually there is, because there's an adventure of her realizing at some point she has to change herself. And it's not nothing dramatic. It's not something like, you know, super big and super like, I just got to flip this 360 and say yes to everything or no to everything or do all this stuff. It's her just being like, let me take some steps to get my life to where I want it to be. Let me look at where, you know, my feelings are.
Yeah.
You know, I noticed that my feelings are changing in this way because I realized this thing isn't the way I thought it would be. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be, and I'm okay with that.
Right. It's very much so like self-awareness, self-discovery, and just general like accountability for like how you choose to look at your life. Not what you choose to do in your life, but how you choose to see perspective and look at things. Like you could say that like your life is super boring because like you're not doing anything that's quote unquote like exciting or anything like that. But like I take joy in small things, like the fact that I have white dishes. I love white dishes. I know, it's stupid. It is absolutely idiotic. It is stupid. It is stupid, but there's nothing I love more than white dishes. They make me happy. Or like, you know, like when you get your eggs in a carton and everything, right? Yeah. I like to actually take the eggs out of the carton and put them in a cute little white bowl, as if I went to the chicken coop and took them out and put them in a bowl. It's so stupid. It is completely unprofound and unnecessary and just not that serious. But it's something that makes me happy.
I mean, I feel you because
I feel very like, you know, just like cottage core.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that same way like when I open a book and I'm reading just for myself, and I just open the windows, or like I put on a vinyl and it like just and the music happens to match what's happening on the page, right? Or when I listen to music for the first time and I'm playing a game on my phone, like that's the way I prefer to listen to an album for the first time, and it's like it's so small. But it brings me so much joy. Mm-hmm. And I have to remember that not all joy has to be a dramatic thing. Right. And this book reminds you of that.
Right. Like joy and peace and romance and like all things that are just worth like living and being around for. Yeah. And they're not crazy. Yeah. Like they don't have to be dramatic. They just have to be and be genuine. And that's the tea.
Yes. So definitely would recommend this book.
Jhumpa Lahiri's Whereabouts, and it's a short read, you guys. Like, get into it. We loved it. We loved it.
All right. So we had a twofer for February. Ta-da! Do you want to hold one?
I'll hold one. Okay. Javon Johnson's Ain't Never Not Been Black, talking about how blackness is not a monolith and how we've been here and been real.
Yes, and I got Rudy Francisco's Helium, talks about your feelings.
We love it because this was our Black History Month read. We love it. Yes. We love it. We love it. What I really loved about this is Javon Johnson not only talks about Black masculinity, but talks about Black childhood and how Black children don't have the opportunity to be treated like children.
Yeah, that's so true.
And that's, and it was hard to read, but not untrue. Especially like as Black people, now that I'm older, there are times where I realize, where I'm rediscovering or remembering where I was a child and wasn't treated like one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where I was like being treated like an adult and not like a child by, by society. Never by my family, but by society for sure.
Yeah.
Putting adult expectations on children, not really giving children a chance to be children. And what I really love about this is that actually Ruby Francisco reviewed this book as well and said Javon Johnson is one of the most brilliant writers in the world, and this collection of poems is proof of that claim. Johnson takes us on a journey, and each poem serves as a guide to understanding Black life in America. Ain't Never Not Been Black is personal, political, insightful, and deserves to have a space on everyone's bookshelf.
Yes.
And this was a case where he went through so many intersectionalities of Blackness, showing that Blackness is not a monolith, but also showing that Black people historically have not been treated like human beings. And that's not new, right? Yeah. It's not that that's particularly groundbreaking, but
to be the way he said it.
The way he says it is what's groundbreaking. Yeah, like when he says oh God, where is it? On the murder of Black children. I want to live in a world where the police do not murder Black children. Where the police do not murder Black children. And the sentence is repeated over and over and over for stanzas upon stanzas upon stanzas for a literal 2 pages. And, changing just like how it's written. So like, where the police do not murder Black children, where the police do not murder Black children. All written in the same text, same font, all that, right?
Yeah, there may be like a few instances of italics, but...
Yeah, well, right, on this first page, it's like this on purpose, though, because it's not just the police, it's teachers. And what are the things what do you do in elementary school when you get in trouble? You have to write sentences.
Yeah.
And that's what he's doing here. He's writing sentences the way Black children in the school-to-prison pipeline are forced to do as part of their punishment, right? So then we throw in an italic where the police do not murder Black children, where the police do not murder Black children, where police do not murder Black children, where police do not murder Black children. And showing how, look at how many people and how many ways we are failing Black children.
Yeah.
Right? And so then it continues, and, with the italic series and everything, until every word is italicized, and then it goes back to the regular way, right? And then we got Black children in capitals on this stanza. And then we have it again. I want to live in a world, all italics, where police do not murder Black children, where it's Black children is written as one word because we're together because so many Black children have been killed. Mm-hmm. Like, it really goes down the complications. It goes down the complexities and complications about the treatment of Black children in society. And it's a classic example of how he delivers it matters.
Yeah.
How he delivers it is where the impact comes from, because he's not particularly saying anything new, but
the way he's saying
delivering it, it's just boom, boom, boom. Here's all the ways where this is fucked up. So I just, God, I appreciate him so much.
Yeah, Javon Johnson don't hold no punches.
And shouldn't. And no one should. And that's what I learned most from this book is drag them today. Drag racists. Throat punch your local racists today. I said what I said.
I feel like this book is the exact opposite. Even with the color scheme, this is neutral and this is super colorful. And Javon Johnson reviewed this one.
Maybe they're friends.
I think they're friends.
They must be friends.
So he says, helium is one of the most abundant elements in the observable universe, and Rudy Francisco's first full-length manuscripts lived up to such a lofty title In that it is enough for everyone, but the hefty amount of new work as well as some of his classic poems we have come to know and love him for peppered throughout, Francisco effortlessly oscillates from incredible introspection to heart-wrenching longing for love. Indeed, Rudy Francisco's helium is both a display and search on high for a kind of love all humans need and deserve, and that is so
fast.
True.
What I loved about this is that like you get kind of on the ground here with Javon Johnson, Ain't Never Not Been Black. Like this is the order that I would suggest reading these two. And if you read them in tandem, read this one first.
Yeah.
Because it gives you the groundwork and the foundation, and this gives you a look at what the world could be. This tells you what the world is, and this tells you what the world could be.
Yeah, I'd say this hits on like your personal emotion.
Yeah.
So much. Like the way that he describes people and water and love.
It's ethereal almost. Like it's just
like I love the way that he talks about, you know, not only love but his mental health, because it seemed from what I can discern from this, he's someone that has dealt with suicidal thoughts, trigger warning. Suicidal thoughts, but has survived. Like I think
more black people go through that than we admit.
Mm-hmm.
And quite frankly, black people have more of a right to go through this than a lot of people because it's existential crisis.
Yeah.
It's existential crisis, it's ancestral trauma, it's generational trauma, it's everyday trauma, especially like, and this is not just living in the United States, like anti-blackness is global. It's hard being black anywhere.
And I hate it.
It's hard being black anywhere. And you know, when you're not set for success, when you have like an entire world telling you that you don't belong here, not everybody is equipped to do the whole like, oh, strong black woman, strong black man trope.
Right.
The strong black person trope. Like,
and I think this shows that you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't.
Like,
absolutely not. And it's not because, and it's not with the goal of getting people to treat you better, being like, oh, like, look, you know, look at my heart, look how I'm a human, look at that, like, because blackness shouldn't have to be humanized.
Yeah.
It shouldn't. Like, black people are human beings, and if you can't see that black people are human beings like everybody else, you're a fucking racist. You're a racist, and you need to figure it out. It is not black people's job to justify why they need to be treated like human beings, and we need to stop doing it.
Yeah. Like, this is just, I would say a lot of this is just him being himself.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. Like, it's
and we
just...
need spaces for that.
Yeah. It's just him talking about his emotions, how his blackness plays into it, how his masculinity plays into it, and how he himself has struggled with love, with self-love, with depression, with all the things. And I remember one of the poems saying, like, he takes his compliments like he takes his coffee. He doesn't like coffee. And I thought, I'm like, that is so
That's
true.
Unfortunate.
How it's hard to sometimes take compliments for what they are, because the world has taught you that that's not what people really mean.
Yeah.
So,
like,
this hits to your heart. This really does.
Whew. Read the book.
Read the book.
Read the book.
It's good.
It's good, and like you will discover a lot about yourself reading this. Like this man is going on a very introspective journey, but it takes you through your own as well. So definitely encourage it.
Yeah, finally.
And we come to the beginning of our 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, go!
My baby don't.
No, I'm talking about Teen Titans. What are you talking about?
I couldn't help but think of Outcast.
No. 1, 2, 3, 4, go!
Timmy don't dance around because she knows the.
Okay, no. First of all, that's not the. I was in the key of the Teen Titans theme song. The key for the Outcast song is 1, 2, 3, 4. My baby don't dance. There's 2 different keys. 2 different keys.
Although, does it not match this story?
Don't try to fight the feeling, cause the thought alone is killing me right now. Thank God for mom and dad for sticking 2 together, cause we don't know how. You think you got it? Oh, you think you got it? God, it's just so, oh God, no, we could do this all day. No. Anyways, no, that's not where I was going with it. I was going with the in the key of Teen Titans song. 1, 2, 3, 4. My team is home. No. Teen Titans. When there's trouble, you know who to call.
Teen Titans.
Yeah, see, that's the key that I was in. Shout out to Hi Puppy Yumi. We will never forget the original theme song. Teen Titans Go was a whole different situation. We will never forget the original Teen Titans.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I think this was such a fun way to kick off the year.
Good Lord. So like, okay, we get it. We know that Raven was actually everybody's favorite. But Beast Boy deserves his props, okay? Beast Boy deserves his props. And we like animals. We love animals. So this is what we chose. And also, we want more male protagonists. What are we going to say? Like, we want more male protagonists starting this year. So this was the beginning of having more male protagonists in our reading list. And what I also really loved about this is that Gar, aka Beast Boy, is biracial.
He is.
We don't talk about this in the original series, in the Teen Titans series. Like, it's a discussion previously and everything, if I recall correctly, like in the storyline. But in this graphic novel, in the origin story of Beast Boy, Gar is biracial and he lives in Georgia.
Small town, not Atlanta.
Yeah, it's small town, but like that's what I love about it, honestly, is that like it's very southern, it's very backwoods, but it's still at the same time very like, and when I say but, I don't mean that in a way that like, you know, rural stories do not matter. In fact, this shows how much rural stories actually matter because there are superheroes in there, you know, but what I loved about it being rural is that like it showed, yes, it's rural, but like there's still a storyline to be had here. Yeah. And it shows that like even like the smallest of towns have narratives that are worth telling because you never know where they could be.
Yeah, I love that. Honestly, it was just a fun remake and relaunch of a character that I have loved in my childhood. Because I'm used to seeing him like when he is Beast Boy, when he's fully developed like that identity and he's living with the Teen Titans and all like that. And this story takes place before all that, before he's even really figured out what is happening to him, and it's his real coming of age. And I thought it was so fun. Shout out to Gabriel Piccolo because I followed him on Instagram, which is how I knew about this book. And so to see not only his beautiful, gorgeous art, but Cami Garcia, to see her great storylines with how they both handled this. Like, I don't think it's easy to take characters that are beloved and popular as shown through the DC movie universe. It is not easy to take.
That you know, the folks just lost their jobs.
I know that, and it is their fault. Okay, they had all the material in the world to make a good storyline.
I blame DC.
But meanwhile, they got artists and comic book creators like these two making fantastic storylines, making fun storylines and diverse storylines because I know they want that. Yeah, and I love it. I think it was a great way to kick off the year. I think it was a fun way to kick off the year, especially considering the year that would come to be. I'm going to go a little lighthearted next year, a little bit more lighthearted. I can't promise
January.
Nothing, but yeah.
Because there's, you know, something coming up that, as we know.
There's, I don't know what it is.
The anniversary of the bad thing.
Of January 6th?
Yes!
I ain't putting no books on that.
Wait, I know that. I know we're not gonna release on January. My point is that like maybe like we need like just a lighthearted book for January because January
considering
is weird now.
The last 3 books, I think that was just yeah. I'm thinking something else. Anyway,
it'll be great, guys.
It'll be great.
It'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful. But listen, if you have not read the Teen Titans Origin, first of all, it's an easy read and it's beautiful artwork in here. It is a graphic novel. It's fun and I love how Beast Boy, like, low-key has, like, a Spider-Man transformation.
Yes, like, the little beast transformation. I do appreciate that.
I am here for it. Like, he all of a sudden wakes up and can do, like, 20 push-ups, and he's muscular and everything. Like Tobey Maguire was in the first Spider-Man. I was like, so wait a minute.
2001, 2002?
2000, yeah, 2002, I think. Yeah. Wow. That was 20 years ago.
We're so old.
No, we are not. First of all, Toby Maguire was one who was a grown man during that time. I will not claim this. I will not claim this because I was 8 in 2002. I was 8. You were 8. We're the same age.
Yes.
You're only like, what, 2 months older than me?
Yes. I feel like that song represents this book a little bit, though. I don't know why. It just gives that same energy to me.
I mean, Outcasts from Atlanta, Beast Boys from Georgia.
Hey,
on that note, thank you guys for coming to the Drunk Book Review. Nic Daniels, shout out to you. And we are looking forward to a whole new year with a new page and new merch for the Audacity Book Club. So until next year, guys, don't forget to read
audaciously.
Cheers! Cheers, friend. We'll see you guys in 2023.
Bye, guys. I really don't know what we're going to read for Jane.